What's up, y'all? Welcome to the show. I'm Lemar. That's LJ. What the hell are we talking about today?
Man, we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs. But since we did not talk any basketball last week, I guess we have to throw that in here a little bit.
Okay.
Just throw it in a little bit. I know this NFL playoff thing is really getting out of hand. A lot of people are going left and right, and people throwing dogs in microwaves and all other things like that.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I hope you're joking.
I'm serious. It happened. The Eagles lost, and it was a lesbian couple. One woman was an Eagles fan. Her girlfriend was a Rams fan. She got upset and beat up her girlfriend and threw the dog in the microwave.
What the fuck?
But the dog's okay. She didn't turn it on, nothing like that. But if you would have turned it on, that's what we call the Philly special.
Yeah, that'd be like a chili dog and shit.
That would have been chili.
We'll get to football in a minute. We're gonna start with basketball, even though it's like blasphemous for anybody at a sports show to do. But fuck it, it's our show. Do what we want. Alright.
Yeah, do what we want. What subject do you want to tackle first? There's a few.
We'll start with the All-Star voting. Alright, so I don't know if you know, but Durant, as of right now, is not an NBA All-Star starter. And like right now, LeBron, Paul George, and Luka Doncic will be the starting front court for the All-Star starters. And I'm not done yet. James Harden, who's MVP candidate, will not be an All-Star starter at this point because Steph Curry and Derrick Rose, who comes off the bench for his own team, is a starter right now in the All-Star game.
Which is the reason why they should have taken the vote out of the fans' hands like decades ago. That's why I just don't like the fans get to vote in who needs to be the starters in the All. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Also, I know you agree with this, but I don't like front court and back court voting. I like having a center because now centers are back. So like
I want them to go back. Say it again.
Maybe a few years ago I would have agreed with that because there were no centers. Now there are. There's centers. Everyone pretty much has a center now, and they're being productive again. Especially like the stretch fives now.
Yeah.
So I think that we're ready to have a center be put in that place because centers need they're pretty much in a class of their own. So I will put a center in that spot.
And speaking of centers, you know who else is in the top 10 in All-Star West voting?
Who?
DeMarcus Cousins. He's at number 10 in All-Star front court voting.
See that's the thing. That's why. Remember when Penny got it? Penny Hardaway got it,
and then he was out. He was out the whole season or something like that. He was out
the whole season. I remember he got a lot of flack because they said, "Oh, you should give the spot to someone." Oh, my fans, they voted me in, so I'm going to show up anyway. I'm going to give them. I was like, but like you didn't play, so you don't deserve that spot.
Well, no, I agree with him though. I'm like, hey, they voted him in. That's the way the system is. That's not his fault that the system is broken. Like, if you want to be there and they voted him in, I would go too. I mean, I'm not saying he is fair or unfair, but that's the system. So, if they vote me in, I'm going too.
The system's just ridiculous at that point. Like I really don't think that the fans should have any say so in who's an all-star or not because it becomes just a popularity contest.
Yeah, but see the way they look at it. I'm definitely 50-50 on this because it is a fan. It's an exhibition game. It's for the fans. So I get why they let the fans, vote for it. But at the same time, I'm into if you deserve to be there, you should be there. Like I'm definitely mixed on it. Like to round out the rest of the East, got so far Giannis, Kawhi, Embiid, Kyrie, and then they got Dwayne Wade. So you know why Dwayne Wade's in it, because it's his last year, and they want to give him like a little, send off. They do that in NBA, so that's kind of what they do.
Send the bench then. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't just because you've made the All-Star game a bunch of times. I just have a completely different idea of what an All-Star should be. Every year there should be, like, you have to earn it every single season. You don't just get it just because you did it for, like, say you did a whole bunch of years, so you should get it because. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't earn it, you shouldn't get it. I'm just a proponent on that. I do not like the fact that fans can just troll the All-Star game by just voting in Derrick Rose. That's ridiculous. It takes away a spot from a guy who may have tried really hard this year and has made a lot of strides. But hey, Derrick Rose is a feel-good story, so well, maybe next year, kid.
Yeah, like Jokic from Denver. He should be he should be you could argue that he should be a starter. It should probably be Jokic, LeBron, and Durant. Who should be the front court starters. And then of course James Harden.
Yeah, Paul George is having a really good season.
Yeah, but Jokic is having a really good season, and his team is in first place in the NBA, or at least in the West. So I would tend to. I mean, you could argue Paul George, you could argue Jokic, but he's the best player on the best team in the West, and I kind of lean towards that. Jokic is really good. He's not really well known around the league much, but and neither there's Denver. Nobody knows that Denver's so high in the West, but.
Well, people know about Denver, and next year when Michael Porter comes into the fold,
yeah, they did draft him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Shit.
And Michael Porter comes into the fold, you're going to see just how good this team's going to be. I'm not sure how good Michael Porter's going to be, but he was going to be a number one pick if he didn't get hurt.
Right.
And so they were talking about him being the next Durant. Right. That's how good a shooter he. When he played at Missouri, I didn't really see much of him, but mostly because he was hurt, and when he came back, he wasn't really lighting it up because he was coming back from a back injury.
Yeah.
But I never put that against guys. I never hold that against you. Like especially when you're young. If it's not a degenerative disease, then I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You can come back and play.
Yeah. Like as far as that concern, yeah. I mean, by the way, I forgot that Michael Porter was drafted by them. Like I couldn't remember who he was drafted by. But yeah, like I'm actually more interested now. I mean, forget about the All-Star game and all of that. Now I want to see how many games LeBron's gonna miss. Like he's still out, and they just lost to Cleveland without LeBron. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. They just lost to Cleveland, but and Cleveland got guys out.
Keep on winning those games, Cleveland. They're
exactly.
The first team in the league.
Cleveland, Atlanta, keep winning.
Atlanta's tied. Well, we're talking about the tank. Right?
Yeah,
and no one's clued in on it. Right now, the New York Knicks are. We have 10 games, so Chicago and Atlanta. The only teams below us are Phoenix with 9 wins, but they already beat us. So I think they won. They have 10 wins, so they just won. So we actually are number 2 worst team in the league.
Right.
So we're right in front of Cleveland, and Cleveland beat us, I think, didn't they?
They might have. I don't know. It certainly wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah, like Cleveland has 9 wins, so let them keep winning. I definitely want to see how this turns out for the draft. But we can talk a little bit more about the draft a little bit later. You're not really watching college. You're not really a college guy.
I just keep hearing about Zion.
Yeah, Zion Williams. He had a really good game last night, even though Duke lost to Syracuse.
Goes to Syracuse. How good is Syracuse?
They're unranked this year, but they still have still have that coach. So
Right.
doesn't matter.
Unranked though, and they lost.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't matter anyway. Like basketball, like football, it matters. Every game matters in football. Basketball does not matter. They'll be in the tournament, and as long as they get their shit together by tournament time, they're gonna make
well,
a
they'll
run.
have 2 losses.
They're gonna make a run.
They only have 2 losses, so it's not a big
Well,
deal.
it seems like they lost more than that. That
Yeah,
shows how much I pay attention.
Now, before we get into football, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Well, one of the elephants in the room. There's a lot of elephants in the room. We could talk about Dennis Smith Jr. The Mavericks are talking about trading him, and this is mainly because of how great Luka Doncic is playing this season, and Dennis Smith Jr. just cannot play off the ball.
Yeah,
he needs the ball in his hands, and Luka Doncic is one of those playmaking, shooting guard, small forward / combination type of players that come around that can pretty much make his own plays, shoot, score, do anything.
I wonder what made Atlanta choose him. I mean, choose Trae Young over him. I know they made a trade, but I'm saying like you had him, and then you just like, you know what, we're gonna go with Trae Young instead. Like, if I had either one of them, I wouldn't have traded. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have made a trade. I would have just stuck with the one that I got.
Well, like if you want to think about the mentality of that, Luka Doncic, they knew he was going to be good, but they didn't know how good. With Trae Young, like you don't want to be the guy who trades away a guy, someone who's like Steph Curry. But you know what I'm saying? Like either way, Atlanta's like, okay, we lost out on Luka Doncic. We had him, we lost out on him. But with this guy, with Trae Young,
he's not been disappointment or anything like that. He's good.
No, he's decent. It's a rookie season. You know, so he's not really shooting that well. I have no idea. Why rookies, when they shoot so well in college, just go to the NBA, just can't shoot well. It's not like the defense is any better. Defense is worse in NBA than college.
But players are stronger, so
players aren't.
And the game is longer.
They aren't playing him like nearly as tough as they did in college basketball. Is like, and you agree with me on this? College basketball defense is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's 10 times better.
You know what I'm saying? That it takes away from the game. It's not enjoyable when defenses play like that.
But NBA, you play back to backs. You play 3 or 4 times a week. College, you don't play as many games. You don't play as much, and within a week, you don't travel as much. It's a different game. So basketball, NBA is just more of. Outside of the game itself, like you said, the defense is better in college, but there's more travel, there's more games that wears you down. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
The expectations are different. So but outside of that, but the game, you're right. Like the defense is way better in college, but they just it's just different expectations, different type of pressure. In most cases, less pressure in college. So.
Well, to be honest with you, like the way they play defense in college, like in the way they don't play in the NBA, play any type of defense in the NBA, it makes you see like, okay, these guys are pretty much full of it when they don't play defense. Like you know how to play defense,
right?
Because everybody on those teams in college plays defense,
right?
All of them,
right?
They play.
Now, granted.
Some play full court defense.
Now, granted, they do play a lot of zone too, so they switch it up. So, I mean,
they play like most of the game is zone in the college basketball.
Right. So that's different. Like players, struggle with zone a lot. So I can see why that would be different. Like once you go into the NBA, you can play 1-on-1. It makes it a lot easier for you. So. Now zone is easy to play if you just know your assignment. Now 1-on-1 defense is something it's gotta just be in you. You gotta be good. You gotta be because even good athletes, there's a lot of good athletes that are bad at defense too, which I never understood. Like it seems like if you're a good athlete, you should be a better defender, but it's not. It's just not the way it works. So you gotta want to do it. It's the effort. It's a mental. Is knowing your opponent and stuff like that, because most cases you have to react to what the offensive player is doing. So that's more of you wanting to do it. So That's where that comes in. Like whereas college, they're playing zone. All you got to do is know your zone. You know what I mean? As opposed to try to stay in front of the defender all the time. So I get it. It's a little different. But as far as basketball, I think that's it for basketball, at least for now.
Yeah. Well. What teams do you think that Dennis Smith Jr. will go to?
You were saying Phoenix and Orlando is interested, right?
Yeah, Phoenix and Orlando. That's just a rumor. Of course, the Knicks. They were talking about giving up Frank Ntilikina and Tim Hardaway Jr.
For cap space reasons, I would do it.
Yeah, I mean, then we would need a shooting guard. I mean, I would do it, because Frank Ntilikina, maybe he's not good in New York. He would play off the ball. He doesn't need to have the ball anymore.
He probably should go to San Antonio. I bet you San Antonio know what to do with him.
Well, I really don't think that Popovich is going to be coaching for that much longer. He doesn't want to go through a rebuild, even though he's right in the middle of one.
Yeah, I mean, he is around 70 years old. Yeah, you're probably right. But
yeah. All right. Well, wherever he goes, okay. I don't trust the guy, but it is what it is. You were transforming. You were not transforming. You were transitioning. No, not like that.
Whoa.
You were transitioning to football. All right.
All right. Yeah. So we'll go with. All right. So we'll start with the Cowboys Rams game, I guess. So I thought overall, I thought because a lot of people thought for some reason that Dallas was gonna get blown out. I didn't think that. I mean, I thought that they clearly was not the better team. Like the Rams definitely dominated the game, but I thought Dallas hung in there really well. I thought, and that's considering the fact that they shut Zeke down. That's pretty. Dallas hung in there. What's his face? Dak Prescott. I thought was okay. You know what I mean? He didn't screw anything up. He doesn't screw up anyway, but he's better in the play. He just plays better in the postseason.
To be honest, I try to stay away from that game. The last thing I would want is because I just felt like the Cowboys were going to win that game, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to watch that. I don't want to watch the Cowboys win anything. So I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't watch the game, because when I saw it on, I was just like, oh please, these Cowboys going to win this game. But I'm glad they didn't win, and that's all. I'm glad that NFC East is out of the playoffs.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a lot of recollection of this game. I watched every game this weekend. That game I can't remember. The only thing I can remember is C.J. Anderson, the backup running back, was running all over these cats. I'm like Gurley was solid, but C.J. Anderson was destroying them. He's got to be like the biggest running back in the league. He's huge.
Derrick Henry is the biggest running back in the league.
Derrick Henry, who's that? Tennessee, right? Yeah.
He won the Heisman for Alabama. He's like a Brandon Jacobs almost.
Yeah, that's what C.J. Anderson look like a short fat dude, but he's huge. They couldn't stop it. They carved that Dallas defense up, man. I was like, damn. And Goff was solid. All around, they were all solid all the way around. Everybody did. The defense looked pretty good. Outside of that, I got nothing else for this game about this game, but just the Rams that dominated. The Colts and the Chiefs. I had picked the Colts. I picked the Colts to go all the way.
I picked the Colts to win it all this year.
Yeah,
the Chiefs they just had no answers for the Chiefs. Not one
on either side of the ball. The Chiefs' defense dominated. And their defense been terrible all year, but their defense is actually was what dominated, and the running game dominated. They switched it up. If they can play any way like that,
usually an Andy Reid team, when he does stuff like that, he loses, because when he does that's just typical Andy Reid. He'll play
one way all season.
One way all season. Then we get to the playoffs, he does something completely different and he loses. I'm like, why would you do that?
Right.
But this time it worked. because your quarterback is that much more superior than Donovan McNabb was ever.
Right. Or any quarterback that he's ever had. I guess with Donovan McNabb was probably the best quarterback he had before Mahomes.
Well, that was his first coaching job, and he picked McNabb, at 99 when McNabb came out in the draft, and that's when he was his first season with the Eagles. Mm-hmm. So so that was his quarterback.
So here they had 3 quarterbacks basically, right? McNabb, Alex Smith, and now Mahomes, right? Because when he got to Kansas City, they traded for Alex Smith. So
McNabb was gone, and they had Nick Foles. Did they have Nick Foles?
No, not when he was there. They had who was that guy? I forgot who they had, but they had somebody else there in between. But it wasn't. Oh, they had Michael Vick. They had Michael. Yeah, because he took over for McNabb. So I forgot about that.
Do you think this is Andy Reid's year?
I think it could be. I think they're gonna beat the Patriots. Even though I'm wearing the Tom Brady jersey, but let's not get ahead of. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that game in a minute.
Might as well talk about the Patriots game, the most disappointing game of the 4 games.
It was disappointing in the fact that I thought that Philip Rivers was finally going to do. And like he's nowhere close to it.
Right.
He's nowhere close to it. He's 0-7 against the Patriots.
0-8
he's
now.
Never beaten 0-8.
Yeah.
And just imagine this dude was on my team. he was on my team for an hour. Imagine if we never traded. Like we would have never beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. We would have never won one.
I'm disappointed because they got beat so bad. Like New England. That's another game where New England just ran it down their throat. Sony Michel, James White, they just ran it down their throat. I mean, they could not stop them. And it was like I'm not disappointed they lost because I didn't expect them to beat the Patriots. They never beat the Patriots. They just don't beat them. But you just got blown out. Like y'all actually had I know y'all was on the road, but y'all had but they had the best road record in the NFL. They had a better record than the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken, or at least the same record maybe. I think they had a better record.
It's a West Coast team, a West Coast a good weather team going to Foxborough.
Right.
Again.
Yeah. I mean, so what they should have done was they should have stayed their ass on the East Coast all week. Because they were just in Baltimore. They just beat Baltimore the week before in Baltimore. So,
and they went home. They should never went home.
They should have flew right to New England after that game. Yep. But they got a lot to learn. They got a
lot to learn.
Well, he's the only one though. Everybody else in that team, outside of him and Antonio Gates, they're pretty new team. Like they're somewhere in the middle of the pack age-wise. They're not an old team. They're kind of young. Outside, and even the coach, I don't know how old he is, but he's not a very experienced coach. So like he's got a lot to learn.
Antonio Gates is gonna take his old fat ass home.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. It's got to be his last year, right?
I'm surprised his jersey get around him. He just got big. You know what I'm saying? Like he's what the NFL used to be back in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? With the big tight end. He's not athletic at all anymore.
No. Yeah, he's done. He needs to move on. Move on with your life, Antonio Gates.
Say he wants to come play again next year. I'm like, why?
If I'm San Diego, I'm like, look, you can come back, but not for this team.
Not San Diego, it's LA.
San Diego. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what they are. That team was that was the San Diego Chargers that played on Sunday. That was the same team I seen the last fucking 20 years.
To be perfectly honest, you know what team should move to San Diego?
Jacksonville? The Kings? The Sacramento Kings? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they're getting a new arena, so they ain't going nowhere now.
How are they getting a new arena? Nobody goes to their game.
I know.
They stink. You know what I'm saying? They always have different ownership. Yeah. They're always constantly moving. They talk about, we should go to Vegas. Or some NBA says, no, we ain't going to Vegas. and like every guy just sells them, and I think Shaq has a piece of them. Shaq just bought a piece of them just to troll them because remember, like
he owns them.
Remember Shaq and Kobe hated that.
Right. Now he literally owns them. Well, I didn't know that he owned a piece of the team.
Yeah, he owns a little piece of the team.
Yeah, I mean, they should either go to San Diego or go to Vegas, but um, there should definitely be a team in Vegas, and there should definitely be a team in Seattle. I don't know why they still can't get a team in Seattle.
There should be a team in Seattle.
Move Memphis to Seattle.
Move the Oklahoma City right back to.
Yeah, move Oklahoma back to Seattle. Put Sacramento in Vegas. That'll make the NBA look a lot better. But don't put just don't put no more teams in Canada because that didn't work.
Yeah,
it's barely working in Toronto. They're good.
Raptors, the guys show up for that.
The second they suck again, they're gonna start thinking about moving that team back to the States. Eventually, they're gonna suck again.
Well,
especially if Kawhi Leonard leaves.
Good franchise. Then they never suck for too long.
They're a well-run franchise, but I don't know what's gonna happen when Kawhi leaves.
Move them to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. I guess I don't know. It's worth a try. I don't know if Pittsburgh will work in basketball. I don't know.
Pittsburgh works in any sport. Any sport. Pittsburgh is a sports town.
Yeah, but it's so much of a football and hockey though. I don't know.
It's football, hockey.
They got baseball, but yeah, I don't know how many people show up to Pirates games, but football, hockey, they definitely get enough fans there. So I don't know. We'll see how basketball does.
I guarantee you, they get a basketball franchise, they'll do well.
I am surprised they haven't tried it. I'm surprised Baltimore hasn't gotten a basketball team. I'm surprised.
Baltimore had a basketball team. They had the Bullets.
Okay. I forgot about that. So
they had one 40, 50 some odd years ago. And they moved into D.C. But Baltimore can have their own team because D.C. is about 40 miles away from Baltimore.
Yeah, it's far enough away. Different. Yeah, it's far enough away. I mean, especially since they got pretty much everything. They don't have hockey. They have football and baseball.
They have hockey. Well, not Baltimore.
No, not Baltimore. No, they have football and they have baseball, but no basketball, no hockey. All right, back to football. Like we're back to the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Where I got who? Eagles and Saints. All right, so this game was the best game out of all the games. Like Nick Foles almost did it again. If it wasn't for Alshon Jeffries, the ball going through his hands, and this guy's been catching everything, man. And then the one time it goes through his hands and it falls right in the Saints player's hands. Like I always feel for players when stuff like that happens. Cause they just gotta live with the fact that they just blew a game. Now the good thing about it is they won last year, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Now if Philly's never won and that happened, that would really suck. But since they won last year, it doesn't sting quite as much, and he'll probably get over it a little faster. But I always feel bad for like kickers when they miss a kick. Or somebody drop a.
Two of those kicks.
Yeah, it's time for him to go. He's done.
Terry has a full gray beard now.
Yeah, he's like 45 years old.
As soon as he took his helmet, I was like, why is there a coach in there kicking?
Yeah, he's like 45. I'm like, all right, now you done missed 2 field goals in the playoffs. You're done. Like that's it, Adam. Like your career's over. It's funny because Patriots got rid of him a good like 8-9 years ago. Like he's been.
I think it's with the Colts for longer than he's with the Patriots.
Yeah, I think so now. Yeah. Like it's crazy. Like Belichick always gets rid of players like a year or 2 ahead. He got rid of him about 9 years. Like this is first year sucking. So like he's been good pretty much. He's been pretty solid all these years. They could. I mean, now granted, their kicker is good. Gostowski is good, but like they could have kept him for a lot longer. But I guess he was probably too expensive. I just found out. Did you know that there's no kicker in the Hall of Fame?
No place kicker in the Hall of Fame.
No kickers in the Hall of Fame. I was like,
Morton Anderson's not in the Hall of Fame.
That's ridiculous. No kicker. No kickers in the Hall of Fame. That's what I heard on the sports show. I think it was Colin Cowherd. They mentioned that. I was like, no kickers? No Morton Anderson, no Gary Anderson, no who else? Like nobody that kick one of these 60-yarders. Like if you're a good kicker and you kick a 60-yarder, you should be automatically in the Hall of Fame. Like if you're the all-time leader in points, you should be in the Hall of Fame. Like, or a
that's
percentage.
Terry. He's one of the all-time leaders.
He might be the first kicker to make it, being that he actually won Super Bowls.
He's like Vanderjack.
Like I can't believe no kickers. Like that's not right. like offensive linemen get in. They don't score a fucking touchdown. They don't score a fucking point. They don't score 1 point.
To be perfectly honest with you, a kicker puts up points. The offensive lineman never put up a point.
How is this? Like, I guess that's
a kicker is very valuable.
Hell yeah! Ask the Buffalo Bills.
Points on the board.
Ask the Buffalo Bills how different their fortune would be had they made that first one against the Giants. Even if they lost the last 3, they would not be the butt of all these jokes had they just won that first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their fortune, everything about them would be different. But that's
Kelly will have a ring. Yeah.
And who knows? They might not have gotten blasted in the other 3. They may have won at least one other one just off the fact that they were champions and they were confident. You know what I mean? Like that changes your whole mindset when you're a champion. So like that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like the kicker is so fucking important, but none of them can get in the Hall of Fame. I gotta look that up. I hope that wasn't just some shit that they threw out there and I'm just putting it out there, but I gotta look that up just to be 100% sure. But that's the stat I heard. I was like, get the fuck out of here. So yeah, the Chargers shit the bed as usual.
F you.
The Chargers, just did what they do. Cowboys lost. Most people are happy about that. I was rooting for the Eagles, but it's fine that the Saints won. And the Chiefs dominated the close. Now, let's go back. Now, let's go to next week's games. We got the Rams and Saints. Saints are at home. I don't think
they beat the Rams last time they played.
And I don't think they particularly looked that great to finish. Neither the Rams nor the Saints looked exactly great to finish the season. But I thought the Rams were way more impressive. But the Saints played a better team also. So that could be a contributor to that. But I'm gonna go ahead and say the Rams are gonna win on the road. I don't have that much confidence in the Saints for some reason. I never have all year, and I still really don't. I mean, they're in the NFC Championship. They're good, obviously. I don't think they suck or anything like that, but I don't think they're quite as good as everybody else thinks they are. Some people think they're the best team in the league. I never thought that.
The Rams?
The Saints.
Oh, the Saints?
Yeah, I never thought that.
No.
Even though they finished the season with the best record, I still don't believe that. I still don't believe that. Like, I don't think they're gonna win the whole thing. I don't think they're gonna beat the Rams. What do you think about that game?
Well, for that Rams game, I think the Rams are gonna ramrod them. Actually, it is gonna be a shootout. You think? I'm not sure about about LA's defense, especially playing in New Orleans. I know they have a good defense, especially a good front line, but Drew Brees just never gets hit because he gets that ball out quickly.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a shootout. They'll be doing the most of the fighting in the secondary. I would say they're going to score 70 points.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I think it's going to be a little less than that. Like, I think one team is going to get 30. But I don't think it's going to be like a all-out crazy shootout like the last one.
Yeah, I'm going to change that because that usually never happens
except for the Super Bowl. Except for last year's Super Bowl. But I think the Rams are going to probably hit 30 in the same. It's going to be a close one, like 31-27 or something to that effect. But I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be close. But I'm going to give the Rams the edge. I think.
I just the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to the Super Bowl.
I think there's going to be another. I think that the teams that are supposed to be in the Super Bowl are going to make it to the Super Bowl. Speaking of that, who do you think is going to win the Chiefs-Patriots game? That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win this time.
I hope the Chiefs win. Just dethrone these guys already and get them out of here. I'm
I,
tired
I
of seeing them.
I think it's gonna happen, and honestly, I don't think it's gonna be that close. I don't think it's gonna be an all-out blowout. I think the Chiefs are gonna be the
I think
better
it's gonna be
team.
a blowout.
Not an all-out like not what they did to the Colts or what the Patriots did to the to the Chargers, but I think they're gonna be the better team. I think they're gonna come in, they're gonna take care of business, they're gonna jump on them early, and they're gonna fight them off. And the Patriots gonna hang in there, but I think they're gonna fight them off. I think the Chiefs. I mean, if this was in New England, this would be a whole different game. But I think the Chiefs at home are gonna come in there, and if they, especially if their defense could play solid like they did against the Colts, but they're playing a whole different team. We already know Belichick is the best, but I think the Chiefs being at home and the Patriots. I just don't think the Patriots played too good last week. Like that's the best the Patriots looked all year. I don't think they're gonna duplicate that. You know what I mean? They're not gonna look that good again, especially since they're on the road this time. I think the Chiefs are gonna win, and I think they're gonna show that they're gonna look like the better team. I think all day, and they're not gonna blow them out, but they're gonna comfortably win. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna come down to the last possession. I don't think so. I think they're gonna win by at least two scores.
I think the exact opposite. I think it's gonna go to the last possession. To be honest with you. I think it's going to come down to a kick. You know, like Belichick plays really good in these games. Not in the Super Bowl for the most part, but he plays really good in these type of games. I think it's going to come down to a last possession. He always just keeps it close. He never gets blown out in these situations.
Yeah. You're right.
I've never seen it. I've never seen him.
He does it. You're right. He does it. He doesn't get blown out in the playoffs. Like when they lose, it's usually very close. But I just got this feeling that the Chiefs are gonna. I think the Chiefs are ready. I think the Chiefs are coming in with that mindset. I think Andy Reid's. This is an Andy Reid team that's never been more ready than there's ever been. You know what I mean? Like I think the Chiefs are gonna win the whole thing. I think they're gonna win the whole thing.
And plus, you know, after Andy Reid and the Chiefs win the whole thing. They get invited to the White House. Andy Reid's gonna want those cheeseburgers.
We're gonna get to that in a second. And I hate talking about that fucking guy, but we'll get to it for a second. But I think the Chiefs are gonna do it this year. I do. I think it's their turn. Chiefs haven't won since like Super Bowl 4 or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
It's time. It's time. It's time for Andy Reid. And it's time for it's time for Andy Reid to finally get one. And it's time for the Chiefs. Now, granted, this is the same guy who picked the Colts to beat the Chiefs last week. So take that with a grain of salt. But I do think I was really impressed on how their defense looked, because I already know they got offense. The defense in their running game without Kareem Hunt looked really good. So I'm like, all right, if they could win.
That's right.
Yeah. If they could play like that, if they could play however they want, because they're used to just lighting up the scoreboard with Mahomes. They pound the ball and just ran all over the Colts, and they shut them down on defense. If they can play multiple ways, it's gonna be hard to beat them, because I think that makes them the best team right now. If they can keep looking like that. Anything else you want to add to that game?
No, not really. We've already discussed Andy Reid. If as long as he sticks to the script, they can win this game. But if he just tries to run the ball, maybe if Kareem Hunt comes back up.
Well, the back, I don't even know who the back. I forgot his name, but he looks just fine. He was good before they got Kareem Hunt.
Time out. My alarm's going off on my car.
Oh shit!
You hear it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you can continue.
Them goddamn kids fucking around with my car again. All right, back to it. I don't even know what I was talking about.
You're talking about Andy Reid. If he does the right thing, then boom. You know what I'm saying?
Boom. Yeah, that's basically it for that game. And to be honest, I don't have any more topics to talk about except your boy Donald Trump invites the Clemson football team. So the one team that finally wants to come to the White House comes to the White House, and he serves them McDonald's and pizza, like not catered food, like a real professional. Anybody in any fucking professional setting would do. Have catered food.
These kids came dressed up in suits. You know what I'm saying? To meet the president. They didn't. They only showed up because, you know what I'm saying, the school said, okay, just show up to the White House and have a dinner, have pictures taken. And he completely makes an ass out. He makes this situation just seem so. It's making it so worse.
Made it a political thing.
He made it so worse. It's just like, oh well, what do you say about the workers?
He's like yeah, because of the shutdown of the government.
Furlong, but to be honest with you, he has a hotel right down the street that serves burgers for $24 a piece. He could have had the entire thing catered by the restaurant that he owned.
Right.
He went to McDonald's and did everything the cheap way. That's not a dinner. You know what I'm saying? These kids could have did anything. They could go down the street and have that. You know what I'm saying? They only get to go to the White House one time and serve them burgers and pizza. And what's that?
If I was the coach or whoever was there, I would have been like, thanks, but no thanks, and I would have just left. I would not have.
Yeah, I would have just said, okay, I'm gonna get the guys. You want to grab something to go? Let's grab a Big Mac and let's hit the road.
Yeah, there's no way I would have sat there and ate McDonald's at the White House.
And they should have called Clemson and say, listen, we're gonna have a real dinner here,
right?
And because this president just embarrassed you, and he's tone deaf. He doesn't know. He doesn't care. So that's it for that.
Yeah, because I don't want to get into too much political shit. But that is that makes me sick.
Whoever else wins the championship and gets invited by the White House, say no thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, basically. And I think this is gonna be a short podcast this week because I got nothing else.
Well, I'm gonna talk a little bit about my team, about my basketball team.
Okay, go for
a little bit about my Knicks. Okay.
Okay.
Right now we're terrible. All right, but there's a silver lining. We're tanking, and Kristaps Porzingis. There's a lot of hatred for him in Knicks groups online.
Really?
And yeah, you see I'm in Knicks groups and I troll the groups probably regularly.
Mm.
But a lot of them saying he's overrated or he's injury prone. I said injury prone. He had one injury.
He's got one injury.
I was like, now if he tore his ACL again, then I say he's injury prone.
Yeah. Well, I ain't gonna say he had one injury. He's been out before, but I'm not putting him in injury prone status yet. But I am concerned.
People tear their ACLs, you know.
Right.
That's a thing. It happens. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying every player tears their ACL.
Right, but it does happen, right? But I'm a little concerned. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it happens on a regular. I understand why you're concerned because he's 7'3", and he needs his knees to be mobile. He's only 23 years old.
Yeah.
So you don't want that to kind of become an issue for him later on in life, or impede him. Or,
fuck his life during his career. Nah. I don't care what you do after you leave the Knicks. Nah.
Yeah. So so I see that point of it. We're building the team around him. So a lot of guys, even a lot of Knicks fans, including myself, are saying, "Hey, we should get R.J. Barrett. If we get number one pick, you should pick Zion Williamson. That's number one."
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. Like I'm 100% decided Zion Williamson is the best player, and that's it.
When I saw he had 35 points last night, and in college games, that's kind of huge.
Yeah.
Like everyone was focused on him.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about him. Everyone's focused on him, and he still dominates.
Right. You can't stop
There's
him.
nothing. There's nothing you can do about him.
Now, granted, they do have two other lottery picks in that team, but so that makes it hard to focus on one player. But still, he's clearly the standout.
That's what everyone focuses on.
He's clearly the standout.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had discussions with people on social media about, they shouldn't pick up Zion Williamson because NBA players don't play like that anymore. I'm like, well, that's the reason you do pick him up.
Right.
He doesn't need you don't pick him up because he's not Dirk Nowitzki. You pick him up because he does what he does.
Right.
You know
Right.
saying, like, you don't have to pick up a Dirk Nowitzki in order to be successful in the league.
Right. Or even Steph Curry or James. Right. He's definitely unique. He's unstoppable going to the basket, and he has a bit of a jump shot. He just doesn't shoot it much, but he can shoot.
Well, he shot a 3-point last night, left-handed, and went right in.
Yeah.
When they weren't guarding him on the 3-point line, he just went up and shot it and went right in.
Right.
So, I don't see the hatred for him, but I think just internet trolls just like to hate anybody.
Well, yeah, he's good. For anybody that's loved, you're gonna find a lot of people that hate. So
Yeah, I have no idea why people hate Kristaps. I'm like, well, he's
there's absolutely no reason.
If he stays healthy, he has the potential to be one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in all these guys, and think about this. Remember, this era we think is run by point guards. Like, all the point guards that we think about are over 20 or 26 and over. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's no point guards coming in that are anywhere near as good as those point guards that are getting older.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul's already over his prime. He's already
Chris Paul's done.
He's Kyrie Irving
done.
is over 26.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard, he's going to be getting up there. Actually, I think he may be like 28 at this point.
Speaking of Kyrie Irving, that Knicks talk is starting to ramp up again. that he might be coming to the Knicks.
I don't want him. I don't want him. He stays hurt. So I really don't want the guy playing for New York. I don't want to give him a big contract. I would much rather just take Dennis Smith Jr. Just see what we can do with him. I don't want Kyrie Irving. He shoots the ball too much. That's not a winning formula when it comes to basketball. Except if your name is not Steph Curry.
Right.
if your name is anybody else but Steph Curry,
and if you're not playing next to LeBron, because LeBron can make it work, and LeBron made it work.
LeBron made it work because he used him like he used Wade.
Right.
Once he used, we know
what you mean.
Yeah, and Damian Lillard's 28 already, and so
he must have played like 4 years of college. Cause he's 28 already. Damn.
Yeah, and Kyrie Irving's 26.
Now I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little lightened up on the Kyrie thing. I still would rather not have him, but not as much as before. Before I absolutely was like, no way, no how. If he plays a full season, which so far I believe he has. I wouldn't even that would make me even more open up to the idea, but I'd still rather have somebody else at point guard. I don't.
No, he's hurt. Irving has been ruled out for Monday's game, July 14th.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so much for that.
Yeah, he's averaging 22 and 6. That's not really. That's more of a shooting guard type of stats. Plus, it all depends on how he does in the game. Stephon Marbury averaged 20 and 8. What did that matter?
Right, and not to mention, he's like they're fifth right now, 4th or 5th in the East, without LeBron James in their conference. Like, that's a problem. Like, they shouldn't be 4th or 5th. Like, first of all, we expected them in Philly to be number one
Yeah.
in the East. Numbers 1 and 2, and they're both fourth and fifth. Now, the Philly thing, I don't know what it is, but I know they're still, getting acclimated with Jimmy Butler. They should be doing better than what they are, though.
Jimmy
Now,
Butler is such a he is such a team killer.
yeah,
Like this guy, he just joined this team. He has problems yelling at the person and yelling at the coach already.
yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
I forgot about that. Yep.
I don't. They were better off without him.
Yeah.
They should have never traded Robert Covington.
I think they needed to do something, but it's just not. It's still too early to say it's not working. But he's doing a lot of stuff that he's been doing. Like you said, he's yelling at the coach, this and that. And I already heard that Simmons and Embiid don't have a great relationship either. Before he even got there, I heard that. So now then you bring him along. I don't know. But
you want to get rid of Simmons? I'll take him.
Shit, I'll take him more. Well, we don't really need Embiid, but I'll definitely take Simmons.
But I'll take Simmons. We need that big point guard. I'd love to have.
I'll take Simmons in a heartbeat. I'll take him. I'll take Lonzo. Those are the only 2 point guards that are. And Trae Young still has a bright future, it appears. But those are the 3 point guards that have a bright future out of the young point guards. Most of the other cats, like you said, are older guys that are approaching their 30s soon.
Well, so. Trae Young's have a bright future because he's losing his hair. The light's shining off that light-skinned head of his.
Stupid. But I don't know. As far as the Knicks are concerned, I don't know. I really don't think I can say. We've been struggling so long. We're still struggling. It's like I can't be too choosy on, too picky on who I don't want to come to New York. But
well, I can because we've done this before. You have to learn from your mistakes, and the mistake that we made was getting the hot new toy that's in the market. We did that before when we got Amari and we got Carmelo, and Kyrie Irving is just in that vein. He's the same type of shiny toy that the Knicks will go after.
He's Amari Stoudemire all over again, right?
Yeah, but he has a ring. But if LeBron if Amari played with LeBron, guess what? Amari have a ring too.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he's Amari Stoudemire all over again. He's got the knee injuries. He's really good. They're both really good, but they're both number 2s, really. You know what I mean? But you know what? Stoudemire was a really good number 1 that 1 year before he started getting hurt. When he was with us, he was really good. We were pretty damn good.
Season before he started getting hurt.
Dang, he got hurt that first season?
The same season.
Damn.
That was that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then we got Carmelo in the middle of the season.
Right. You're right. Shit, he did get hurt.
Yeah. So Amari, he had half a good season with the Knicks, and that was pretty much it.
Then it went downhill from there with his career.
Yeah, it's been downhill.
When he did come back, he messed up his hand punching the glass in the playoffs. It's like it was just
yeah, he punched the glass for the fire extinguisher.
The fire extinguisher glass. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, I don't. That's the reason why you have to be cautious when you go after these free agents. Just don't try to make a big splash. And I actually heard that Durant might come here now. So
yeah, I'm still not buying it.
I never get myself.
Right.
I never really cared about that type of thing.
Right.
Because Durant is going to be 30. I'll take Durant.
I'll take him though.
Yeah, he's going to be 30, and by the time we get him, he's going to be in his down years. But maybe we can, if we do get him, maybe we can squeeze the championship out of him. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that high hopes yet. I just want to be good again. I just want to start making the playoffs and then see how good we can be with Durant, KP, and whoever else we may get in the draft or whatever. Because we're gonna have Durant, we're gonna have Knox. Well, I'm not saying we're gonna have Durant, but if we get Durant, we'd have Knox, we'd have KP. Who knows?
And Knox is still growing. They said he was having he's having growing pains in his knees. They say he may have another inch and a half in him.
I hope that's all it is.
Yes, because he's 6'9" now. He said he may be like 6'11" by the time he's finished growing by next season. Maybe it'd be funny if he was 7 feet tall. I'm like, what?
What if we draft Zion and we get Kevin Durant? We have Zion, Durant, KP, and Kevin Knox, all forwards.
Yeah, like that, at that point, well, KP, he's a center. He's 7'3".
Yeah, well, he obviously be moved to center. Durant and Zion would be the forwards, and Knox will have to be the shooting guard.
6'11" shooting. Yeah, that's only if we get him.
Then we would need
because number one, I am not moving Kevin Knox for nothing.
Then we would just need a true pass first point guard, somebody who just really does not give a shit about score, who just really wants to. No, but it got to be somebody that can get dimes. It can't. I mean, I guess, but you know what? If we had those 4 guys, Moutier would be probably perfect for that. If you know what I mean, he would probably be a good fit for that type of offense. You know what I mean? Like, because he can score when he needs to, but in the offense, pretty much. I mean, I ain't gonna pick up the offense too because we still suck, but. I took a liking to Moutier, and he was one of the guys that I really wanted to trade. So, but
still trade him.
Yeah, I mean, I still would, but like if let's say we kept him and we couldn't get nobody better, then he wouldn't be the worst person to have to be on the team. So, as far as the rest of the league, I don't know. I got nothing else. Like the Lakers would be number 2 in the league if not for LeBron being hurt.
Speaking of the Lakers, I'm thinking about Lonzo Ball. Have you heard any more about his little brother, LaMelo Ball?
No.
Now, remember LaMelo Ball? He's the one with the
he's the youngest,
right? The mohawk with the highlights in it.
Yeah, yeah.
He's taller than Lonzo now.
Oh, really?
He's damn near 6'8".
Is he? Yeah, I was gonna say, where is he? What is he doing?
He's playing for some high school team, Spire, in LA, and so he's the second best player on the team because they have the number 1 player in the country on that team.
Oh, really?
There's another shooting guard, but he's playing the point. And he's playing really well. He cut that hair off, and he looks just like Lonzo now. So I can't tell the difference between the two. So instead of like he's super skinny, like Lonzo at least got a little bit of muscle, and plus he got tattoos now.
So should he be like ineligible for high school since he played pro?
Well, no, he can still play high school, but he
can't play college, can he?
Only one team offered him a scholarship in college, and that's University of Alabama Birmingham. The reason they don't want to offer him because he played professionally already.
Right, he's ineligible. He can't play. Yeah, he's ineligible, so he can't play college ball.
They said he didn't sign with an agent, so there may be a loophole. He never signed with an agent. His father's an agent.
Right, he never got drafted. Yeah, he never got drafted, and he never got signed with an agent. So that might be the loophole. But I think once you play professionally, you automatically can't play.
That's kind of the loopholes they're trying to
go
around. Plus the father, I forgot the guy's name. Was something. Lemar Ball. Lemar Ball. LeVar,
yeah.
He actually said he was like they're gonna change the rules anyway. They're gonna let high school guys come to the league. So
I was about to say he might be able to play in the NBA or the D League next year, but college I think a team would definitely the way he's been playing. Oh, somebody will draft him.
You have to look him up,
right,
and see the way he's playing now. Like he's really, really. Like he's a better version of his brother. He's a better version of Lonzo.
And they said that he was going to be better than the other one, LiAngelo. They said LiAngelo sucks.
LiAngelo just sucks.
He just sucks.
Like he can shoot. Like he can really shoot, and he doesn't have that stupid motion, that crazy motion that his brother got. Yeah, like he can shoot. he plays defense. He can pass the ball, and like he's a playmaker.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like they said that if he was if his name was like Williams,
Right.
he'd be like one of the best players in the country.
Right. They'll pay more attention to him, but since he's a part of the Ball family and retired and by the way, his father's been so quiet since LeBron joined the Lakers. I'm like, thank God, because I was so annoyed by him and everybody.
Magic probably got to him like,
right.
Hey, listen, man, you got.
But yeah, I'm so glad that they finally got him to just get out of the spotlight because he was annoying the shit out of me.
Well, he doesn't show up to those games anymore. He just shows up to his son
his high school games.
Games now.
Good. Keep it that way. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this shit up?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. So yeah. As we said, my picks for the NFC and AFC Championship is Rams and Chiefs, and yours?
Rams and Chiefs.
All right. So we'll see y'all next week with our championship stuff, our championship post game, and our Super Bowl preview. Fuck you.